Okay, here we have a Dell M5030 laptop machine, and it worked fine for almost a year and then would not boot. And when you try to boot, as we're trying to do now, and I can tell you it won't boot, it will give you the famous 7 beeps. The 7 beep error code indicates that there is a processor failure. Okay, and that would happen 10 times or 50 times hitting this the power button. The processor failure error code suggests that you really have 3 possible ways of trying to improve your situation. One, of course, would be to replace the processor, and that's been done. That was done on this machine. I found a processor on eBay that with shipping was about 23 bucks, and I bought it, replaced the processor. It had no effect on the 7 beep failure to boot. Of course, one of the possibilities was to just reseat the existing processor, and I tried that first. No help. The other possibility is to replace the motherboard. It's either the processor, the seating of the processor, or something on the motherboard that's preventing the processor from functioning. It's not worth replacing the motherboard on this machine. It's an inexpensive laptop. In fact, my wife actually won this laptop, so we had no money invested in it. But there is yet something to try, and after a lot of reading on the internet, I came across the process of reflowing the motherboard. Assuming that there's a problem on the motherboard preventing the processor from functioning, and hoping that it's not a component on the motherboard, but in fact that it's a cracking or breaking of some solder connection somewhere. And by the way, there's good evidence that that's what it is in this machine, because if you heat this machine up enough, I tried using a hair dryer, spraying the keyboard and then right into the vent with a very hot hair dryer, and was able to get the machine to boot that way. So, assuming that it's a faulty connection on the motherboard that maybe sometimes can function if it's heated up, you may want to try reflowing the motherboard, which essentially just means heating it up to the point that the solder connections liquefy and flow. Here are the tools involved. There's going to have to be a small flathead screwdriver for prying up this keyboard, a Phillips head screwdriver for disassembling the machine, aluminum foil for the project of reflowing the motherboard, the motherboard will be placed on some balled up aluminum foil sitting on this pizza pan, baked in a preheated oven for about 8 minutes. And it's entirely possible that the end result will be the computer still won't work, and in fact may not even give the 7 beeps after I've pulled it all apart, baked it, and reassembled it. But I guess we'll find out.